Israeli police say fighters in Lebanon launched a rocket into a village in northern Israel on Tuesday. An Israeli police spokesman said there were no casualties. The Israeli military says it views the incident as, quote, grave, and holds the Lebanese government responsible. Lebanon's official news agency says Israeli artillery shelled the area from which the rocket was fired. And Israeli authorities have demolished several Palestinian homes in occupied East Jerusalem. Israel says the houses were built without permits. Palestinians say such permission is impossible to obtain, and they accuse Israel of using demolitions to tighten its hold on occupied territory, despite international law. Al Jazeera's Kimberly Holkert reports.
A group of Palestinian women looks on as their homes, personal belongings, and a lifetime of memories are reduced to rubble in a matter of minutes. Villagers say several Palestinian homes in the southern part of occupied East Jerusalem were demolished by Israeli police bulldozers.
They knocked on my door and spread fear and terror among us. I don't know what to say.
A father tries to console his tearful son. The young boy never had a chance to remove his prized belongings.
They are armed, but they are scared. I want you to plant in your heart that Palestine is our land, not theirs. They are occupiers. One day, my son, they will leave. I promise you, they will leave.
Israel says the demolished homes were built illegally and without permits. This father says he tried for 15 years to get one unsuccessfully. Palestinians and human rights groups accuse Israel of using the demolitions to shift East Jerusalem's demographic balance, where Palestinians still hold a small majority over Jewish residents. East Jerusalem is occupied territory under international law. Still, Israel insists the entire city is theirs. Palestinians want it as the capital for their own future sovereign state. This is why some Palestinians tried unsuccessfully to defend their homes by throwing stones. Still, the clashes are likely to continue. Despite international calls to halt the demolitions, the UN reports some 1,500 destruction orders are still pending. That will eventually leave about 9,000 Palestinians homeless. Kimberly Helkett, Al Jazeera.
The United Nations is calling on Israel to immediately stop demolishing Palestinian homes in occupied East Jerusalem. The UN says 600 Palestinians have already been forced from their homes this year. Tens of thousands more face the same fate. Israel says the houses were built without construction permits, which Palestinians say are almost impossible to obtain. Our correspondent Jackie Rayland is in Sheikh Jarrah, a neighborhood of Jerusalem, with more.
A homeless Palestinian family is made homeless for a second time. Israeli police tear down the tent of the Rawi family in Sheikh Jarrah, robbing them of the only shelter they've had since they were evicted from their home nearly 3 months ago. These pictures illustrate in graphic terms Israel's policy in occupied East Jerusalem: consign whole Palestinian families to the street, including children and old people.
I will sit on a chair in the street with my children, without a tent, without anything. I will stand opposite my house. I have a right to live here with my children. They stole the house from me by force.
The Rawi family had been living here for more than 50 years, but an Israeli court ruled that Jews were the rightful owners. So now Israeli settlers occupy the house, establishing another foothold in East Jerusalem. What Israel knocks down, the Palestinians raise up again. Within moments, neighbours are helping the Rawi family to build another makeshift tent. It's an act of defiance and resistance.
What we're seeing here is a systematic effort by Israel to turn Sheikh Jarrah into a Jewish neighbourhood, family by family, house by house. Today it was the turn of the Rawi family, but it's fair to say that there isn't a single Palestinian household here that feels entirely safe.
Settler groups are now targeting other homes in the neighbourhood, and they're using the Israeli court system to achieve their goals.
My house is one of the 28 houses which are threatened by the eviction, and I'm waiting my turn. It's by turn.
A delegation of European parliamentarians shows up. They're here to learn more about Israel's policy in East Jerusalem, and they've arrived just in time for a first-hand lesson.
They all the international community should be ashamed of what's happening here. We see every day Palestinians being sent out of their homes, house demolished, increasing of settlement. It's really time to end it.
The police are back, and they're giving the Palestinians 5 minutes to take down the tent and leave the area. The deadline passes, and the police move in. It's a familiar scene in East Jerusalem. Helpless Palestinians met by Israeli force.
Bravo, the champions of Israel! Bravo!
Anger and derision against the Israeli police, but it's only words. The international community, including these representatives from the European Parliament, knows what is happening here. Yet the Israeli evictions and demolitions continue unchecked. Jackie Rowland, Al Jazeera in Sheikh Jarrah.
We're going to take a short break.